Welcome to Rapid Harmony. I'm Kyle Emmanuel Brown. This is a space for high achieving souls who want more than outcomes. You want resonance, you want truth, you want a life that moves with purpose instead of pressure. Here, we explore success with the soul and direction with depth. We slow things down just enough to hear your own wisdom again. We breathe, we question, we remember the part of you that never needed permission to leave. Every conversation is an invitation to trust yourself more than the noise around you, and live from that clarity that rises when you stop forcing and start listening. Take a breath, settle in, let's begin. Be honest with me. You found yourself in a situation where on the outside your success looks incredible. People are congratulating you. You've got a social media highlight reel. Everything looks fantastic. Maybe even your bank account's going great. Your business looks like it's great. You found the great partner. Everything looks great on the outside. But on the inside at night, something's been keeping you awake. You're finding yourself in a situation where you're having to hustle so hard to live the life you want, to make the money, to live the dream, to be able to travel everywhere you want to go. And you're finding yourself in a position where you're just on the brink of burnout. You're really not that enthused about the life, and you feel totally disconnected from almost everything. You're not celebrating the way you should be. You're just kind of waiting to get to that next point. And everything you've accumulated, you feel like, God, I could lose this at any time. And something inside of you is calling you to a new paradigm, a new game, a new way of doing life. Well, if you have any bit of an inkling of that, and you want to learn how to live from a place of soul-fueled confidence and total self-trust, welcome home. Welcome to the Rapid Harmony podcast. My name is Kyle Emmanuel Brown. I am a high-performance coach, a #1 best-selling author, a spiritual guide, and an all-around fun guy. You see, I've been in your shoes. I've lived a life at what I call the expert level of the video game of life, with a family, with a daughter who's got type 1 diabetes, a son who's a really active athlete, the dynamics of a healthy marriage for the last 15 years, and really doing everything I can as a high achieving conscious entrepreneur to live the life I want the way I want it. And, at the end of the day, what I've realized is this: most people are doing the best they can with what they've got. But high achieving conscious entrepreneurs, we don't see that. What we do see is we see a vision where we want to leave the world a better place than when we got here. We want to do whatever it takes to get to a place where not only am I creating impact, but I'm just loving everything about my existence on planet Earth. I'm living from a place of bliss consciousness. And the truth is, I'm there now. I wasn't there before, though. I was in a place where I was sitting in the ER. I'm darn near on my deathbed. I've got a ventilator breathing for me, doing everything it can to keep me alive. And double pneumonia, code sepsis, my body failing me. Yet it made no sense on paper. Why? I had been a celebrity personal trainer, clinical nutritionist. I'd done all the right things. I'd put in this whole fitness, wellness lifestyle to building the empire of my dreams. But the reality was I wasn't in congruence. Everything was this building high pressure life to get me into a place of feeling worthy, of proving my success and my worth to others from the efforts that I put into everything. And the real problem behind it, the doctors couldn't figure out. They're like, how are you this sick that we have a machine breathing for you right now and helping you breathe, when a few months earlier you'd gone through this full body evaluation and you were at the fitness level of a world-class athlete? Well, the answer is this: total self-trust was my problem. So let me tell you a little bit about who this show is for. This show is really for the achievers who are winning on paper, but losing inside. And they're living from a place of total alignment. They're wanting to do everything they can to live an incredibly healthy and balanced life, but they feel like their life is right now on somebody else's terms. And it's an old version of themselves, something that they created from a place of desire, not from a place of alignment. Let me tell you who this show is not for. This show is most definitely not for you if you think the ultimate trophy is going to be found in a bank account. If you think the ultimate trophy as this high-achieving conscious entrepreneur is success where everybody else is applauding you, but you're sitting at home all alone, totally hoarding everything, wondering why you don't feel joy. So the core philosophy behind the Rapid Harmony podcast is based on the idea of total self-trust. And total self-trust is a place where your higher self, which I call your sacred, empowered, luminous force, is in alignment with your ego, your earth guide only. And you are living from a place of clarity, confidence, and contentment. Really just happy, full of faith, full of courage, and just full of the joy that is your birthright. I do all of this through a process, which I call the Empower process, where the first thing you do, and we're going to be covering a lot of these in the episodes, is you envision a life that you want. Most people have no clue what they actually want within their life. They know a lot of what they don't want, what they're not happy with, but they are clueless as to what the true vision is that they want and that their higher self wants. After you've gotten that vision, we then move on to the master step. And from there, the first part is we shed everything that doesn't serve you. And then you begin to master each component of real wealth and health to get the life that you want. You're then getting it into momentum, which is propel. And when you're propelling forward, you're feeling really good and really confident about what's going on. But you'll also find parts that just aren't working for you. They may have worked in theory, but not in practice. And so from there, we move on to O, which is optimize, which is making those conditions work for you. You then move on to wield, which is now that we've taken all of this stuff and studied it and started to learn how to embody it, it's how do you bring it out into the world? The next E is to expand, which means how do I take this version of me and expand it out into relationships of all types? And then from there we root, like really bring it in from a place of groundedness, not just theory, but total deep embodiment so that we can raise up and be the best and highest versions of ourselves. So the way the format of this show is going to work is like this. There's going to be really deep interviews that you'll see on all different types of health and wellness and ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience. There's going to be solo teachings. There's going to be some really deep, real coaching. There's going to be a good perspective shift that will come through, and you'll leave with a lot of practical steps that you can take and operate and integrate into your busy on-the-go lifestyle. Thank you for entrusting your time, energy, and resources in me. I'm confident after 25 years of coaching the best and greatest and highest that I can absolutely help bring you to a place where you can lean in, realize you're not broken, and learn how to live a life of true bliss and joy. All right, my friend, if this episode sparked something in you, don't just wander off into the abyss of the internet. Hit subscribe so you can actually get the good stuff when it drops. And if you're feeling generous or mildly enlightened, leave some love in a review. It takes just 30 seconds, and somehow it feeds the algorithm gods so they notice and more people who really need it. Now, if you want to step deeper into my world, rapidharmony.com is where the real magic lives. Coaching, community, rituals, and a few surprises that are way better than just scrolling around another motivational reel and not doing anything about it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you. And remember, your inner harmony isn't hiding. It's just waiting for you to pay attention. I'll see you on the next episode. Now go subscribe before you forget.